What's up, YouTube? Thanks so much for tuning into the Game Show Maniacs podcast. It's your host, Honestly, and I'm here with the official CliffyJay.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the official Cliffy J, and I'm here on the Game Show Maniacs podcast. It's finna be a good one.
As you guys should already know, based on the title and that bomb thumbnail, we are going to be doing our Challenge Season 40 draft. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the season. I'm so stoked. So it's only right for us to do a draft. With our drafts, we always keep it fair here at Game Show Maniacs. I won the dice roll, so I got to choose which eras that I wanted to choose my teams from first. So I got to choose era 3 and era 4, which means I got to pick my team first. Well, my first player first, and then Cliffy J gets era 1 and 2, and he got to pick his first player from each era first as well for those gens. Let's just hop right into it.
Yeah, and as she said, since I get to pick my players from era 1 and 2 first, I'm gonna go ahead and make my first era 1 pick, and I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the best players of all time, one player that I think is underrated by some, overrated by some, but you gotta put him up there when you're talking about the best. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Derek Kaczynski. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and go with Derek is because I know his level as a competitor, and I know that he didn't put his best foot forward in the last seasons that he's been on the All-Star series. But at the same time, I know that he didn't look like a washed up version of himself. And he's the type of guy that if he doesn't have the best season, he's so consistent that he likes to bounce back. And just looking at this coming in as another season where he hasn't been on the flagship for a long time, hopefully it's going to be similar to Dirty 30, and he has a very similar season, gets really deep and makes the final. Hopefully he gets second place or first.
All right, guys. So for my first pick, I'm picking another dog. This one ain't, a little dog. This is a big dog. And I'm going to go with the legend C Tizzle, CT. I absolutely love CT. He is a beast. He is just a great all around competitor. He's great at puzzles. He's great when it comes to thinking about different, strategies to win a challenge. So I just think CT is just really smart and physical. Obviously, he's fat this year, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, we already know CT is a big fat guy right now, but he still can obviously compete at a pretty high level, as we've seen on SLA and Double Agents. That's why I got to go ahead and go with another guy that has competed at a pretty high level on a couple of seasons. Though he hasn't pulled out any wins recently, which people like to harp on that. But if you just look at the way that he's competed, look at the fact that he's been robbed of a win, look at the fact that, production has kind of set him up to fail at points. Going with Darrell is a very, very good pick, and he could easily outperform CT on any given season. He can outperform anybody on any given season. That's why I don't get why Darrell gets so much hate and he gets so underrated nowadays. But, I got to go with Darrell, man.
I absolutely love Darrell. I think he should be a fan favorite.
He's a
Darrell
fan
is
favorite. He's a
so
fan favorite.
funny. He's hilarious. Like his little jokes that he makes, his confessionals, they're always great. And obviously he's a good competitor, especially when it comes to a final. So Darrell's a great choice. For my second choice from era 1 for the men, I've got Brad. Brad obviously did not have a good showing on All Stars 4. Let's all just be honest. But Brad has overall been a good competitor. I think Brad has came very close to winning numerous times, and he has won before. So I think we need to give, Brad a little bit of credit for his accolades.
Yeah. Nah, Brad is. Come on, man. This is the thing with Brad. I really hate that a lot of people act like just because Brad only has one win and it was a team win, that they can discredit him and stuff like that. Now, Brad is one of those. He's one of those players that in his prime, he definitely was an elite competitor, and he had a very, very long prime. A very, very long prime. He's been on the show since Era 1, and he had a prime that stretched all the way till early Era 4. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really understand. You could argue that Brad's prime stretched to All Stars, but I just don't think he was the same level. Even though he when he's on, he's on. To quote Jordan, Jordan said this recently on the podcast that when he's on,
Yeah.
which is very, very true. When Brad is on, he's on. He outperformed Jordan on All Stars 3. So I gotta go ahead and go with another player that can keep up with Brad, because Brad is washed right now. And obviously, we got to evenly distribute the men and the women. You know what I'm saying? Because if we didn't have to do this, I wouldn't be going with this guy right now. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Godfather, Mark Long. We already know his level when he was at his best, but we know he ain't at his best no more. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mark Long.
The Godfather. I love Mark. I think he's a great competitor. I don't think he's going to care to do too well this season because he's, like he said, 52. So, but I mean, it obviously is going to be a really great achievement if he does do good. So that might just be the drive that he needs to win. So we'll see.
100%. And obviously, as honestly said, we got to make this as fair as possible. So, with my first woman pick for Era 1, I'm going to go ahead and go with Rachel. And come on, man. Y'all already know I'm assembling, like, I ain't even going to say it just yet. But nah, we already know Rachel is so fit that just make it translates to her still being able to compete no matter what era. That's really all I got to say. We know she's going to bring strength and athleticism, and that's all right. You know what I'm saying?
I think Rachel is a great pick. She represents the OGs so well, and I'm so happy that they brought Rachel back. But I'm also happy that they brought back another legend that represents Era 1 well, and that is my underrated girl, Jody. I love me some Jody. I mean, yeah, she's a little sensitive. Yeah, she may cry every time she comes on a season, but she's here to compete and she is a competitor. And Jody is very versatile in the stuff that she can do and the challenges that she's good at. So I think you could throw Jody in almost anything except for, wrapping somebody up in toilet paper. And she's probably gonna do damn good, even at her age. So I'm very happy to have Jody, even though I got the second pick for a woman on Arrow 2. I think Jody is a phenomenal, solid pick.
I think Jody is a very, very solid pick. We already know, if we're talking about like on a regular, right? Talking about who's the best at their best, I would actually go with Jody over Rachel. I also think that Jody was more consistent. I just don't think that Jody is at that level anymore. While Rachel just stays in such great shape. I feel like I gotta give respect to that. But obviously we have to evenly distribute these players from each era. So this next girl pick that I take will mean that honestly gets the other two females. Which for era 1, it's actually all right. These last three girls aren't that good, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tina. I think that all time she probably is the best competitor of the three, and probably the most well rounded. So I'm gonna have to go with Tina.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we had already got the best two women of Era 1 that they had brought back. So I'm obviously not surprised that I have these trash buckets on my team. Obviously, Anissa is an elimination queen, and I respect her for that. But I feel like Anissa does give up a lot. As you guys can tell, because I've said her name numerous times, the next pick that I have is Anissa. Like he said, I just get the leftovers. So it's Anissa and then Katie. I have no hope for either of them. No offense. Anissa's just never really won, and like she cried and said previously, I always go home before the final. And even when she makes it to the final, she doesn't fight hard enough to win. So really not really wanting her on my team, but I have to. Katie, next.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That stuff is crazy. That stuff is crazy. You definitely stuck with, probably the bottom of the barrel of the entire group for this season in Katie. I would assume Katie is
Unfortunately.
the bottom of the barrel for the entire group. Anissa is arguably the bottom of the barrel for this entire group. But the good thing is we're moving on to Era 2. And I also had the first pick for Era 2. But let's be real. The females for Era 2 and the players for Era 2 are just probably more better right now, like more well rounded in terms of like overall. So even having the leftovers for this era is not going to be that bad. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, I'm very satisfied with my team, and I know the viewers will choose Team Honestly.
yeah, whatever. They gonna like my team the best because the fans know. The fans know. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make my first pick from Era 2. And is this not obvious? I'm gonna go ahead and go with Johnny Bananas. We already know he's one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Arguably the GOAT. A bunch of wins. Gotta give it to him, man. And he's still able to compete at the age he's at and always makes that's the thing. That when I like he always makes the final. And I'm saying more in like this modern era, it's like him and CT are similar on that, like where even as the older guys are able to still make the final, though their level really isn't at the level where you should be that afraid of them. Like back in the day, you shouldn't be as scared, but still people are. So, yeah,
Yeah, I think Bananas is obviously the best man out of Generation 2 or Era 2. They really had a shitty group of men. And I just want to put this on the record here that I'm highly, 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 highly upset at Wes for not coming on this season. I understand family is very important, but we really could have used you, and I would have had you on team, honestly. So, obviously, for my team, like I already stated, guys, I don't think era 2 is a strong era, and I'm so sorry for saying that to the men. I've got to go with Nehemiah. I like Nehemiah. Nee is cool, don't get me wrong. Um, but he's just not a strong competitor. I do count him as a champ, but we all know he didn't win that final, and neither did any of his teammates.
hmm
But I'll go with Nehemiah. I'm getting exhausted.
all right, yeah, nah. Nehemiah is a really good option. I don't see how he's not a strong competitor, but it's all right. Let's not get caught up on any things that don't really matter that much because it really could just be semantics. He could be meaning he's not an elite competitor, but because I would agree with that, he's not an elite competitor, but I think he's a strong competitor. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and make my second guy pick for this era, and I really debated between two players. Um, and I decided to go with the person that I feel like is better in the challenges versus the one that I think is better socially. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Derek Chavez. I think that he's pretty well rounded in terms of competitively, if it's not something physical, right? And then I think that he should be integrated good enough with some of the women and even some of the guys to where I don't think he'll be someone that people are targeting early. He is kind of an OG at this point.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I like Derek. I think Derek is a great, strong runner, and I think Derek isn't dumb. So that's good. That's
Right.
all good for him. As long as he can use common sense, be fast, I think he's a good asset to have. Now, my next pick is going to be Brandon. Boy, oh boy, isn't it crazy how he's changed? It's like he's a quarter of how much he used to weigh, and he's a quarter of how good he used to be. So it's just definitely a bummer that I do have terrible picks for Air 2. Not saying I don't respect both of these men on my team, and they both have done good at a time. And Brandon has been a beast, but I don't know what he can do. He's not the weakest link, I guess. Ryan is.
Era one's gonna not be good, guys. I promise you guys. Era one guys are gonna be ass. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with Ryan. We said his name a couple times, and I do believe he is going to be integrated with the women. I've seen that he has a lot of good relationships post show, so I think he'll do pretty well in this season based on that. I'm gonna go ahead and make my first female pick of Era 2, and I think that this is the easiest pick of the entire draft. No, okay. Let me not say that. It's one other one. You guys know which one that is. But this is the second easiest pick of the entire draft. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Laurel. And I know a lot of people are picking Kara coming into this season, thinking that All Stars made it like she's just better or something like that now. I don't think that. I don't think she's better now. I think Laurel's meniscus was torn. I think that Kara also was just having a really good season, and Laurel didn't perform good in the final because in the dailies it was very close, neck and neck in terms of their performance. And then we already know Laurel is the better politician. You know what I'm saying? She's better at getting people to sway and do what she wanted them to do. Kara is probably better at flipping the house. So that could be a problem down the stretch of the game when she's able to kind of plant her little seeds and do her thing and flip the house on Laurel. But I don't know if that's going to really work out this season. So I'm going to go ahead and put my money on Laurel doing better than Kara because that's really where the competition is at here with these women. And yeah, we know Laurel is at a level where, you know, since she's so good, even with her coming down a little bit, she's still better than most of the girls on the show, if not all of them.
I agree. I think Laurel's a freaking beast. So I mean that's definitely um undeniable. But do I think that Kara may be better? Possibly. So I think that they need more time to prove it. But Laurel's a great choice. Now, for my next choice, I just want to make sure that I'm being clear with the audience. It was very hard for this decision because I basically only got to choose one woman that I wanted. So I did kind of have to do ping pong with the wonderful women of Era for, excuse me, oh my, whoa, where am I at today? Of Era 2. And I had to go with my girl, Emily. I think it's been a long time since we've seen Emily. I think from the preseason episode, she still seems like she's like a good competitor. It seems like she's still here to compete. Seems like she's got like her mind mentally together, which is good in this house. And I think she's going to be able to, you know, soar to the game. I just hope she can build relationships. That's my only thing, you know. As physical ability, I'm not worried about it. But social game, that's more of where I'm a little bit nervous because she hasn't been around in, I think it was 12 years or 10 years, something very long.
Yeah, it's something crazy. It's something crazy. And I honestly wouldn't be too worried, at least for the early game, about Emily's position in the game because the dynamics haven't changed that much, which is disgusting. The fact that dynamics haven't changed that much since back then. But it'll still be the same people running the show. Fuck, bro. It's the same men running the show. So and then she's
Johnny
cool with these
CT Mark.
Johnny, CT, Mark, Banana. I mean,
Obviously, Darrell and Derek are.
Johnny, CT, Mark, Jordan is not running it, and that was someone she was really close with back then. Um, yeah, guys, this is crazy. I think Emily's gonna do just fine socially early in the game. My only thing is, I think it's gonna be similar to what Casey's gonna deal with, where early in the game they're gonna be protected because they're gonna be part of this pseudo vacation alliance, because that's what I'm going to call it, because they're going to be the vacation alliance members that have been part of that alliance without Fessy and stuff like that, and a couple other players, and they're going to all band together the same alliance. And then they're also going to pick up other players because you have the main components that you need. You have Devin, you have Tori, you got Anissa, you just don't got Nani. You know what I'm saying? Like you got KC, like you got the main components you need to make this alliance, right? And then they also have allies. They have allies that are going to be their allies already, like other players. So all they got to do is band that shit together, and they're going to have like a 18-person alliance off rip, which I think Emily will be a part of. So I think early in the game she'll be protected. When we get to the late mid portion of the game, she's not going to be prioritized, which will be her problem.
At least she's what, 5-0 in eliminations?
Yeah, something
Let's
like that.
go,
She ain't
Emily.
lost. Yeah, she ain't
Yeah,
lost.
I'm pretty sure it's 5-0.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go with my second female pick. And I talked about her earlier. We already know her level. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cara Maria. I ain't really gotta say too much about picking up Cara, man. Y'all already know what she do, man. It's crazy. I got Cara and Laurel, man. This is insane. Yeah.
As you guys found out earlier with Era 1, I do get basically the bottom feeders, and um obviously with Era 2, I'm very lucky because I've got some really strong female competitors that I am very happy to have on my team. If I were to be able to put them in order, I would choose Aviv first. She, came on and she was one and done, kicked ass in that first challenge. And then obviously Kellyanne, she's a staple. She hasn't won, but I really feel like she should have by now.
Yeah, she should have won All Stars 1.
Yeah, but I think Kellyanne's a great competitor. Like, she can run. I think Kellyanne can swim. I think Kellyanne's just
she's an athlete, man.
Yeah, she's just a great all around competitor.
She's gritty, man. She's
Maybe
gritty.
not good at social game though. Her social game.
She's not gritty in the social game, man. She's not gritty.
It's terrible.
She's not,
work on that, Kellyanne.
It's not even the worst. It's like she always fucks it up.
Yeah,
but yeah,
just like she talks too much, almost from Lisa from Big Brother.
I know, right?
Almost like Lisa.
But yeah.
Okay, guys, the moment everybody's been waiting for. Honestly, getting to finally pick her team first and get first selection. If anybody started the video and thought, why did Honestly pick Era 3? Why did she pick Era 4? You guys already know why the hell I picked Era 3. We have the best freaking male challenger for me. Like, I freaking love this guy. I think he's a freaking animal. And my number one pick, and the reason why I chose Era 3, is Jordan fucking Wisely. I gotta go with Jordan. I think Jordan can beat anybody in a final. I think Jordan is a great all-around competitor, and he's shown time and time again that he can rack up the wins just like the dudes that we know, love, and appreciate, like Bananas and CT. So I think Jordan is definitely in that conversation and definitely a legend of the game. Welcome to Team Honestly.
Yeah, Jordan is an amazing, amazing pick. I'm kind of deciding if I want to hate or not.
Go Jordan.
Nah, I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate. I could hate, but I'm not gonna hate. Go ahead, you pick Jordan, good player. Oh, it's my turn to pick now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the player that has shown time and time again that he can improve. You know what I'm saying? He can improve, and he's been my winner pick for multiple seasons in a row now. He's let me down, but he's not gonna let me down this time. And it's crazy because you were looking for essentially your winner pick for at least the males in Era 3, and I also was looking for my winner pick for the males in Era 3, but they were different players. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Corey. Obviously, him talking on social media as much as he's done recently about money and stuff makes me think he didn't win. But at the same time, we got to go off of how I really believe he will compete on the season, looking at this cast and stuff like that. And come on, man, stop playing with that dude, bruh. He's elite now. He didn't used to be elite, but he's elite now.
Yeah, I think Corey's definitely sharpened his tools in the tool shed. So I'm proud of him and his appearance that we last seen on USA 2. So Corey's a great pick. Sorry, guys. My number 2 pick is actually better than Corey. Just kidding. Mentally, he's better. I'm going to go with my boy Devin, the Smarty Pants. I think Devin is a great selection. I'm so happy that he finally got his championship. He deserved it on Ride or Dies. It was much over needed. Excuse me, well over.
I don't even remember what word. I don't know what we're trying to say.
Okay, we're going to cut that out then. I'm so happy that he won his championships. It's definitely what I feel like he needed. I think Devin is also another player that's kind of sharpened some of the tools in the tool shed. I think he's kind of worked on his physicality a little bit more. I mean, he kept up with Tori in a final. Obviously, it was 3 days, but that shows that Devin may have improved his endurance, stamina, things like that.
Possibly. Devin, Oh yeah, I like Devin. Um, but he's cooked, buddy. He's cooked. I don't really think he cooking. You feel me? I don't really think he cooking, but I think
Oh,
he's
wow.
cooked.
Wow.
With these dudes on this season, bruh, I don't think Devin's gonna be able to get through the terrain, bruh. Devin ain't built. He's not built in this thing. I think Devin's a really strong competitor, and people are gonna think I think Devin's bad because of what I said about him in my video. But I think Devin's a very strong competitor. But the problem is he's not. He's a very strong challenger, but he's not built to be on a season when he's on the back foot. Period. He's not. But yeah, with my next pick from era two, I mean no era three, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this is so tough between two players. Um, one guy I feel like is better all time. One guy I feel like is coming into the season better right now based on what we've seen from the other guy. Because I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tony, and I'm picking Tony over Leroy just mainly because I feel like what we've seen from Leroy makes me just not believe he's gonna be able to do anything on this season. You know, he doesn't seem like he can compete anymore, let alone win a season or anything like that. So even though I'm not very high on Tony, I gotta go with Tony in this one.
I agree. I think it's Tony time to pull that goddamn trigger. I think Tony's a great selection. On the preseason episodes, his body was very nice.
Yeah, he's in better shape.
Like,
Yeah,
he looks like he beefed up a little bit,
crazy.
and not the fat kind. Like he might have went into bulk a little bit.
Yeah, he looked big, man.
So I agree. As devastating as it is, I do have to go with Leroy next. And I agree with you 100%. It doesn't seem like he can compete anymore. And it's really sad to see because he should be able to. I think that, with Leroy and Cam, they've got kids, maybe this isn't his focus. He's here right now to maybe kind of wish on a star. They invited me. Why not go try to make some money? You know what I mean? Whereas I don't know if he's training for challenges. We know he's running for marathons, but we don't know if he's training for challenges. But Leroy, best of luck. You're on team honestly, so I obviously hope you do good, babe. All right. Now, obviously, since I got to choose my people first on era 3, I do have the women pick first as well. It shouldn't be a surprise who I'm going with from Era 3. She's the fucking best from this era, and she is a freaking beast. As you guys can see, I've got her video on my damn channel because she is top 5 female of all time. I am going for Tori Deal. Tori is going to go on Team Honest Lee. She's a great competitor all around. She's good at puzzles. She's good at swimming. She's good at running. The only thing she can't do is ride a bike. And let's hope they don't bring that to the final. So I'm very satisfied with having Tori. That was another reason why I picked Era 3, because Jordan and Tori is like the girl Jordan to me. I've said that numerous times. I'll say it again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, is pretty high on Tori. She's pretty high on Tori. I know Tori's elite, so I ain't gotta even question her. Um, I gotta go ahead and go with for my first female pick of this era. I gotta go ahead and go with Naya. Um, upon further, you know, upon further research, I've decided that I'm probably even gonna have to bump Naya up, like in terms of where I'm ranking her going into the season in general, because she's only been on 3 seasons and she's made the final 2 times out of the 3. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, she would have beat Teresa or Nani, whoever she had to Nani. She would have beat Nani in a pole wrestle." And Bananas broke his rib versus Leroy, so they would have lost. They would have lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Naya would have made the final. Then she basically made the final. So it's like, and Naya's also someone that can win eliminations, is really big and tall and strong, taller than Laurel. On top of the fact that she she's scary. They're gonna be intimidated. females are intimidated of Nia. So she is a well-rounded competitor. Endurance is going to be an issue, obviously, but she's a well-rounded competitor. On top of the fact that she's very intimidating, I think it's a chance she can skate pretty deep in the final pretty deep in the season without getting called out, and then be able to clutch a win or two against strong competitors because she can beat some of these other very strong competitors. I would put her in the same category as the Emilys and the Casey's and the Jennies and the Caras, in terms of these girls are all very much in the same bracket in terms of physical eliminations and shit like that. Yeah.
And physical.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the eliminations on this season are going to be physical.
I think so too.
If this was just any random season, I wouldn't be as high on Nia, but I think she'll make it because all this is going to be physical. Yeah. And no one's going to be. I think that you're going to have to pull out, Laurel and KC to get her out of there. A physical elimination. Yeah, man.
Oh, Laurel versus Nia, that would be one of the best ones. Yeah. I think obviously Nia Beatties is a great choice. I think Nia, I think as long as Nia can kind of integrate and socially be integrated, then she's going to be able to hold her own weight. I think she knows not to come in last place. So I'm hoping that she does it. Please. Oh, she's not on my team. Go in last place, Nia. My bad. Go in last place. All right, guys. My second and final pick from Era 3, before I give CliffyJay the bottom feeders, I've got another champ because my team is full of champs, except Leroy, but he's still a champ, people's champ.
People's champ.
I've got John A. I think John A is a phenomenal competitor. I think she did decent before she came on her All-Stars reign, but obviously her coming on All-Stars and winning back after back has really gave her a confidence boost, and confidence is key. When you think that you can do better and you feel that you can do better, you will possibly do better. Manifestation is key. I think she thinks very highly of herself, and I think that's going to help her throughout the game. Also, Janae is a good competitor. So I'm hoping that she can compete with the rest of these people. I know Era 1 she more than likely can compete with, but it's just the stronger competitors like Tori, who kicked her ass in USA 2, and like Cara and even Nia, like he just said, she's really not on their level. She's definitely on a different tier than those women. So I'm hoping that she can kind of use her social game, like I said, Nia needs to do, and kind of integrate good enough to not really have to face these beasts in elimination.
Yeah, I think John A is a very, very good selection here. When I was thinking about this draft, I definitely argued between her and the player that I would have picked, because I am just stuck with the bottom feeders in Avery and Amanda. But I actually probably would have actually picked Avery over John A at this point. But that's just mainly based off the fact that we're doing a draft with like a leaderboard and a point system. And on the high end, John A is going to do better in terms of she has the higher chance of winning the season. But I think on the low end, Avery has a higher chance of actually accumulating more points. So I think she has a higher chance of probably surviving longer in the season and possibly winning maybe a daily and possibly, winning, let me say a daily, because I don't know if she's going to win elimination. But actually, I think she probably has a higher chance of winning elimination in a physical season like this than John A, actually. So yeah.
I doubt it. John A held her own very good against Tori.
No, because athleticism wise, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, but if it's a physical,
because neither of them are winning a physical, straight up like physical. You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be.
Yeah, but if you put John A against Avery in a physical elimination, it is a coin toss, though. Never mind.
John A probably wins. That.
Avery fought Nia, and she was
right. But that was when they were both. That was when they were both different, bro. I think John A gets Avery in a straight up like a pole wrestler or something like that, because she is more experienced. She has more she understands the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think she understands to hold the bar a certain way and shit like that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But if they were in the same, like anything that's like balls in like that, I think that would actually no. I think balls in Avery will win that.
Avery
will win a balls in. You feel me? But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the elimination. I actually think Avery can accumulate more points than John A. Because I think Avery beats more girls than John A. in a balls in. And that one elimination they were doing in the trailer, that one shit. Nah, come on, Avery, I got her in this one, man. Them eliminations look whack as hell. But yeah, I got Avery and Amanda on my team, man. Let's get to Arrow 4, man. It's crazy.
Let's let's never skip past Amanda Garcia. He has Amanda Garcia on his team as
I
his last
mentioned her.
pick. We love Devil over here on Team Honestly. Hopefully, she sees my video one day and knows that I'm Amanda Stan. So let's go, Amanda. And now we can move to Era 4. All right, Era 4, another era that I was so freaking happy to get because I have so many favorites from this era. I mean, I love the challenge actually because there's so many people I love here. Like, oh, I can go from each era and go over loving at least half of our teams each. So yeah. But anyways, my number one pick, this was a really hard decision. I was struggling between two people that are absolute beast, but I ended up landing on the guy that I have more faith in, and that is going to be Kylan. I think Kylan is a really good all around competitor. I think when his head is in the game, he does good. He went on an elimination streak just as well as the other dudes in his era that are going to be named in a few minutes here. You know, there's a few different dudes on era 4 who have been in elimination time after time again and shown that they can beat people various different times in different types of elimination, and I think Kylan is the strongest of them all if we're looking at overall challenge competitiveness. Of course, with him not having played the game with anyone outside of Era 4 prior to this, that does make me nervous. But based on, watching Challenge Mania and hearing how the other Challenge alumni do think of Kylan, I'm hoping they'll welcome him in I'm hoping they'll welcome him in with open arms.
Yeah, man. Kylan is a really strong pick. Obviously, I would have picked Kylan if I had the option. Even though I do think that Kylan and the next player that I'm going to pick have a similar chance of winning the game. I think that Kylan's just going to accumulate a lot of points. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to use competition score, which is the same. What would you call that? I don't know what you would call it. We used it.
Like the
It's
same
point
like
system.
ledger,
Point
yeah.
system. Yeah, competition score, which is the same point system that we used for our All Stars 4 leaderboard. Um, so I definitely think he's going to accumulate a lot of points. If he were to make it to the part where they're probably going to do a switch format to an individual portion, he's probably going to definitely get a lot of points then because they're going to be eliminations and dailies that are solo. So I definitely think Kylan will accumulate a lot of points throughout the game, and he definitely could win the season. It's definitely up there for him.
I hope so. He's on Team Honestly.
Yeah. And then for my first pick of Era 1, I'm going to go ahead and go with Theo. And I think that Theo definitely is one of those other people that you have to have in the winner contention. For me, he was top 4 clearly. I think that he'll be tough to beat in the final for most of the people on the season. And eliminations, he's pretty good at them. On top of the fact that he is pretty strong at daily, so I think he could accumulate me some good points. But mainly thing will be being at him banking on him as a winner pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think Theo is an amazing competitor. I lean towards Kylan a little bit more. That's why he got chosen first. But I think Theo overall came second in one of the hardest finals, they said. So, I'm really proud of him. And I have a lot of faith in Theo and what he can do on this season 40. Okay, guys, I don't know how the hell I got this next person on my team this quick. But I have Paulie on my team. I may have read a few spoilers, so that may have been why I chose him instead of other folks. But I'm gonna go. Don't say that.
No, you say whatever you want. I mean, deter people from watching your channel because you think you're gonna spoil shit.
Okay, yeah, take that out. Take that out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Paulie. He had an absolutely petrifying performance on USA 2, but at the end of the day, he was going against bananas. And when I watched that elimination back, it really looked like Paulie was just too small for the elimination. It didn't look like there was anything that he did wrong. So I'm not going to just say that Paulie just is no longer the old Paulie that fucking dominated a season, winning like one of the most daily challenges in a challenge season. So I'm gonna go with Paulie. And even though he's wearing that girl shirt in this interview, I'm hoping he can come in here and be a man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with uh I'm gonna go ahead and go with Horacio. I think it's a pretty easy option when you look at the choices that are left.
I know I would really like to do a
So
trade, but
yeah,
that was a complete
I'm
accident.
gonna go ahead and go with Horacio.
For my last male choice, I've got to go with somebody that I'm really feeling like I'm not being that nice about some of these people. So I really want to apologize for being honestly. Josh, after losing to Nicole Franzel on reindeer games on a physical elimination, I don't ever want Josh on my team, ever, for anything. Josh can't win anything. And it's so incredibly sad because you just hope that one day Josh is going to become a man and his cojones are going to drop. And it's like, Punani. Like, but yeah, I'll take Josh.
I think that you're not taking account the fact that Josh won Big Brother. Nah, let me stop. Let me stop. But yeah. Let me
One doing
stop.
that shit.
Let me stop. But or let me stop. Let
We'll
me
cut
stop.
that
Let me
out.
stop. Let me
Yeah,
stop. Let me
cut.
stop. Let me stop, bro. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Josh ain't winning, bro. Josh ain't winning this season, cuz. Y'all know Josh ain't winning, bro. And that's just simply a fact. We don't got to look up spoilers. You ain't got to nothing. You don't got to try to predict the future. It's just, if we were to make a challenge bingo card, which we honestly should do, if we were to make a challenge bingo card, a bingo predictions, one thing you can bank on there, you can have it in the middle as your bingo. Is that how that works? I don't know how bingo works. But you can have it on
And
there
that's your
as
free
your
space.
free space. Josh will lose an elimination. Josh will lose an elimination embarrassingly. You can have that one on your bingo card because he will lose. Fessy guessed and beat his ass.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, Fessy guessed and came back and gave you a minute to get it done and guessed again and finally got it right.
Oh man. At the end of the day, Josh, obviously, you know what I'm saying, he ain't getting it done, shorty. That ain't happening, bro.
I agree. So since I get to choose first for era 4, I get to choose the women first as well as the men. So I'm going to go first with choosing my woman pick, and I've got the wonderful freaking beast KC Clark. She is a phenomenal competitor. Her showing on World Championship, which is when we just seen her last, she did absolutely amazing. Had her and Troy not went through the hall brawl, I know for a fact they would be world champions. So I'm waiting for Casey to get her ring number 2 and prepare for her new life with Nani by winning.
Excuse me. Yeah, nah. Casey, that was the perfect time for a yawn. Cause Casey is a snooze fest. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I know all you haters. We can check. We can kind of fist pump on that, right? I know all y'all. We can fist pump on that, man. But Casey is. If you have watched my channel, you know Casey's one of my favorite players in challenge history. I know that that is an unpopular opinion, but I'm just an unpopular guy, man. I like to go against the grain, man. So that's why I'm gonna have to just try to rock with. Now I ain't even gonna do that right now because y'all ain't gonna want to hear that one either. But I gotta have KC's back, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta back KC, but I can't back KC this season. If you watch any of my past couple videos, I am not backing KC going into this season. I'm actually backing this other person that's from Era 4. That's why it's perfect that she picked KC because I wasn't gonna pick KC. I actually wasn't going to pick KC at all, which is crazy, but it's for a particular reason I'll talk about in a second. I'm going to go ahead and go with Jenny West. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. It's over, right? Jenny West. I think that she has so much potential in this game of the challenge. She's shown so much. She's already beaten Casey in a final. Um, you know,
Didn't Casey get injured?
she got injured in Total Madness too.
Did she?
Nah, Melissa and Bailey got injured. She didn't get injured.
Oh, okay, Melissa and Bailey.
Yeah,
It was
no,
Melissa
man.
who climbed it pregnant.
Yeah, man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. Bailey's gonna beat her again if they go to the final. So I got my money on. I said Bailey. Damn it.
Yeah.
I got my money
Don't
on
worry, you're
Jenny.
the only liar that says Casey has only not competed good
I
in
know.
finals because she's been injured or something has
I
happened.
know.
So
Yeah.
that was
No, I
one
said
that
her
she
rookie.
just
I
did
said no.
bad.
I've always said her rookie season. That was her rookie season. Like I don't knock nobody for losing their rookie season, or else Jenny wouldn't even be on here. She got embarrassed by Tori. You know what I'm saying? She got
I'm telling
embarrassed.
you.
She got
That's
embarrassed.
in my video.
But that happens in people's first season. Sometimes they lose. I'm obviously trolling when I'm bringing this up just to gas up my team and shit on her team. Duh. But yeah, no, I got faith in Jenny. I also do have faith in Jenny to beat Casey in the final if they go heads up. I think Jenny has the best skill set for a final, arguably in all women, but she's definitely in the top three up there with Ashley and Sarah and a couple other people. People wouldn't say Sarah, but I don't give a fuck. But so yeah, gotta go ahead and put Jenny up there, man. Gotta have Jenny on my team, man. You already know, rock out, boom.
My final selection for the women before I give CJ the not so bottom feeders because I really love a competitor that I have to leave on the table. I'm going to go ahead and go with Michelle. I think Michelle is a really good underrated competitor. Michelle has always came in clutch when it comes to challenges. That's been since Survivor. That's how she made it to the final. That's how she won. Not only that, but her social game is very good. She's very good at building her own clique and being able to kind of tell them what to do. And I'm hoping that she can do that another time around this season, kind of make Olivia's idiotic ass follow her lead, and hopefully Olivia gives up her game for somebody who actually should win, Michelle.
Olivia's a good option because I genuinely think that she will make it very deep in the season based off for one her size. So if she goes against Kellyanne or Nerese or any of the weaker girls that are like physically weaker or smaller, really, I would say, she could beat them. Or the older like Tina and stuff like that, like she could beat them because they aren't that good. You feel me? And they older and weaker or whatever the case, Amanda, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So she can survive the early portion based on that. On top of the fact that she's big on politicking. Let's be real. She's willing to, get into a showmance and help it further her game. Not saying that's 100% the intention she's always had, but it's definitely a part of her strategy. On top of the fact that she comes from Love Island, and from what I know, her on Love Island and what I've seen from her on the show, she just is really good at seeping through the fucking cracks. She just is good at that. That's her. That's what she's good at. She's good at seeping through the cracks and just kind of falling into the background. She's not a huge threat. So I really do think that her being good socially and then having all the other stuff I just talked about, I think she'll be able to seep through the cracks and make it really deep in the season. Though Casey probably will make the final, Olivia probably won't. I could see Olivia getting there based off her size and everything else I just named, not based off skills. And then I still have to pick this person because she deserves to still be picked. She deserves to be thrown on my team. You know what I'm saying? It was a very strong selection of women for them, in my opinion. Olivia is the worst of these five women, and Olivia is not a terrible competitor. I think that Nerese is the option that I do have to go with fifth because I really think that her and Horacio and Kylan are going to have big targets on their back. I said this in my video. I think their targets are going to be huge, right? And I think that Nerese will be the casualty of the three because she has the least ability to defend herself versus other people. For one, I think that Horacio is more proven in dailies. I would also argue that Kylan is just as proven in dailies as Nerese. On top of the fact that she'll be worse than multiple other girls on her own team. On top of the fact that she's not a big girl and she's not dominant physically like Cara, where even though she's not big, she still is so good in physical challenges.
Yeah, I could understand where you're coming from. And I'll actually comment on both Olivia and Reese since you kind of didn't let me get a chance, coach. Um, so when it comes to Olivia, I just want to say I completely hope that that doesn't happen. You know, I know that Olivia can slip through the cracks because she's so fucking boring and
Yeah.
dismissible.
I don't think
That's
she's
what it
making the final,
is.
but
That's why she slips through the crack. Sorry, I'm Team Nerese all the way. Even if Nerese forgave you, Olivia, I still haven't. So that is what it is. As far as Nerese, I do agree she might be the one that gets caught in the crossfire because they could be trying to go after those men. And you never know when you have snakes on your own damn team, you never know how things could go. You know, they were all just on season 39 and not all of them were kumbaya.
I could see her having to go against Olivia or having to go against Michelle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because she is still cool with Michelle, and I can see if Michelle being able to patch up their relationship, and then them being we're looked at as like a female trio too, but also is gonna have some type of threat, you know, because we seen what they did on 39. So I definitely could see them also being a threat in that way, and them end up the one to throw two of them in against each other. And I honestly think Michelle and Nerissa is a heads up battle in physical elimination. And I think that Olivia beats Nerissa in physical elimination. We've seen what she did to Raven, who I think mops the floor with Nerissa in physical elimination. I think Raven absolutely just sends her to the shadow realm.
Raven, why weren't you on this season? Come on, challenge. Why didn't you guys bring
Pretty
Raven
sure it was
back?
school. Pretty sure like school or something like that. She didn't come on by choice.
Oh, things
and
are more
and she
important.
gonna be back. She gonna be back to the show. She just said it was some stuff like that, and then also I think she had like some health issues too. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I watched the YouTube video. She talked about some stuff. I don't want to go too in depth. I don't remember exactly what it was, but some health issues. But she would definitely
Oh.
be on here, and she will be very high on my ranking because I think she has so much potential. But same with Chanel. I think Chanel has a lot of potential too. But yeah,
That is going to be our teams, guys. Team Honestly versus Team CliffyJay. We definitely would love to hear your feedback in the comments.
hmm
Take a look at the screen, take a look at our teams. Who do you guys think has the better team? Who do you guys think is going to accumulate the most points? And yeah, kind of tell us your winner picks for the season coming up. I'm really excited for season 40.
hell yeah. Very excited for season 40. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Push the post notification bell so you can be notified every time that Honestly drops a new lit banger or we come out with a new podcast. Pick my team.
And it's a wrap, guys. We're out. Team Honestly.